Hello and welcome to Overdrive. I'm Rohit Paradkar and this is the much awaited Honda Elevate. I'm going to call it I'll Wait because you see Honda has completed 25 years in India and they've made their fans wait for a rather long time for this SUV, that proper Creta rival. Let me give you a closer look. As you'd expect, there is a lot of crowd out here and I'm going to try and make my way around it and try and give you a look at the vehicle. Now let's start off with the front end, of course. The front end is the most pretty angle for this car, or should I say the most imposing angle, because they've given it a rather upright grille and it's a huge grille. In fact, in the white color that we just showed you in the opening, it almost looks like a mini Land Cruiser. And that's with all the horizontal detailing that you see for the headlights and that interfacing with this upright grille. I think that front end looks really good. That nose is really going to do it for it. And if we move to the side, it's got 7-inch rims shod with 215 section tires, so that's broader tires, broader rubber than the Honda City. So that's the grille again for you. I think I quite like the detailing of the grille, those horizontal elements with that upright stance. It's really looking quite nice. Again, those upright fog light housings give it that upright imposing stance. It contributes to that imposing stance. And then you have these really good looking LED headlamps. In terms of the cladding, you get the squared wheel arches and the cladding is nice and thick, so that gives it that muscular SUV look. And if you look at the bonnet, it's pretty flat. It's a clamshell bonnet. It's pretty flat when you look at the angle, and then when you actually look on top of it, it's got some nice contouring on it. The windscreen is quite sharply raked, not too upright here, and it's very difficult to give you a complete side profile of the car from here right now with all the crowd, but it may not look very tall to you, but honestly it is quite a tall car, at least in terms of the dimensions. Let me again try and give you a look of the side profile, but it's taller not just than the Volkswagen Tiguan and the Kushaq, but also taller than the Korean, so also taller than the Seltos or the Creta. And in terms of the width, it is wider than the Volkswagen siblings, the Tiguan and the Kushaq, and the wheelbase is as much as the Tiguan. Now in terms of the rear details,
a bit larger than the Creta, also a little taller. Surprising because you can't really see it, but what you must look out for is that interior, because it's after a really long time that Honda's come out with a fantastic interior. Feels proper old school luxury Accord style with that wooden, rather that brown leather upholstery on the dashboard. Fit and finish is superb. Quite an impressive interior on the Elevate.
right, so that is Bert giving us his opinion on the interior. I'm going to show you the interior in a bit. Let's finish the tail first. So you again get LED tail lights. You can see the design inspiration or the design language being very similar to the Honda City or even the Amaze for that matter. And you see the IV Tech badging. I'm going to come to that in a bit. But here, what this hides is a 458 litre boot, which again is a pretty good number. That was a spare wheel, but this is the kind of boot space that you get. It's a little contoured here. The wheel arches are coming in, the wheel wells are sort of coming in, but I think overall it's pretty generous, the kind of space that they've given you. And here is your spare wheel. It looks like a space saver wheel to me. I can't see the sizing on it just yet. Let me just check that bit. It's a steel rim. You're not getting the alloy wheel here. Sorry, I'm unable to get the. Oh yeah, there's the sizing. Okay, it's a full size wheel, but thank you. It's a full size wheel, but you get a steel rim and not an alloy wheel. That's X Overdrive. Akshay helping us out there. Thank you so much, Akshay. Big shout out to you for that. And now we will talk about the cabin. Let me go in and then you start. So that's the cabin that Bert was talking about, and I agree with what he's saying. So you get this forward finish here. It's got a satin finish on top of it, and then you get this dark brown upholstery. It's not the typical beige upholstery that we see with Honda and Hyundai cars. This is a nice brown upholstery that you get here. That brown and black, that interface is looking quite nice. You get a 10.25 inch screen up here. You can see the reversing camera feed coming through. So it doesn't get a 360-degree camera, you get a reversing camera. And there, if you see underneath, yeah, that's Ritesh pointing that out. So that is the lane watch camera. So it will tell you if anyone is in your blind spot. That is the steering wheel for you, multifunction steering wheel. You also get a 7-inch multi-info display. And it's very much like what we've seen in the Honda City, where the speedometer needle is an analog needle and the rest of the display is TFT. So that similar configuration carries through. So 7-inch for that, 10.25 inch for this. You also get the Honda Connect tech with it. Up here you get the wireless charger, you get 2 USB-A ports, you also get a 12-volt socket here, 2 cup holders. This is the 6-speed manual. You get some more storage space here, conventional handbrake. So that's that. These are the door pads, one big bottle and some space for knickknacks, more space for knickknacks here. Even the door locks are finished in a dark grey, a gunmetal kind of finish, and it looks quite nice with a matching inlay right here. So all of this looks quite nice. The rear seat space I can't show you right now because the way these guys have put the seats back right now, it's not a great representation. But what I need to draw your attention to is the headrests. You only get 2 headrests. These are very similar seats to what you get in the Honda City, but you only get 2 adjustable headrests. So the rear seat is only good enough for 2 adults and a kid in terms of safety. And in terms of the width, like I said, it's a rather wide car, so the space should be good even on long distance journeys. Now what I also like is the cladding that you see down here. The rocker panels are done up quite nicely. That's in body color, and then you get the black cladding on top. We'll get a better view on the red color car. It's a brick red. It's not a very sporty red, it's a brick red, looks quite classy. But this is the cladding that I'm talking about. Like I said, no 360-degree cameras. You only get a camera on the other wing mirror, the left side wing mirror, and that's for your blind spot assist. You get the request sensor right here. You get a conventional keyhole right here, and you get the chrome door handles. It's a dual tone finish, of course. You do get a sunroof, but it is only towards the front. You also get the satin finished roof rails. And for the alloys, you get a diamond cut finish. So that finish matches the roof rails. You get chrome lining for the windows. You get chrome on the door handles as well. But like I said, I'm really digging the rocker panels there. I think they've done a nice job with that. So it doesn't look like a very tall car, but I already told you it is one of the tallest in the segment. And if you look at the ground clearance there, it's got 220 millimeters of ground clearance and a 5.2 meter turning radius. So those are some of the specs for you. Now I told you I'll come back to the iVTech badge. Now you see the iVTech badge, you haven't seen a hybrid anywhere. That's because the hybrid is not yet launched. It will come at a later date. As of now, what you get is the 1.5 liter engine from the Honda City. It puts out 121 PS and 145 Newton meters of torque. And while Honda hasn't given out the figures yet, they claim that it will have best in class emissions and best in class fuel economy as well. Because we are still a kitna deti hai country, so of course that is very important. Now this Elevate is a global model for Honda, which means that it will be produced in India, but it will be exported to other parts of the globe, right hand as well as left hand drive markets. And this will be followed by the hybrid, like I said, but there'll also be an EV variant that will come out at some point within the next 3 years is what they're saying. And in terms of the EV, I expect a battery capacity of between 45 to 55 kilowatt hours. That's the battery capacity that I expect for the EV. Now, Honda has sold 3.9 million vehicles in India in the last 25 years of their existence in our country. And most of it has come on the back of sedans, Accord, Civic, Honda City of course, Amaze. And there has been the CRV of course, but CRV, BRV, WRV. But this is going to be their first proper crossover and they have big expectations from it. And I think this vehicle will deliver on most of those expectations. Like I said, no hybrid for now, you only get the 1.5 petrol. You can have it with a 6-speed manual or Honda's typical CVT transmission. And in terms of the name, well, Honda has always been a premium position brand. Wait, the engine's running, by the way, guys. The engine is running, so it is a refined motor, of course. This is a naturally aspirated 1.5, and it's pretty silent. So, like I was saying, Honda is perceived as a premium brand, and they want the Elevate to be chosen by people who like an elevated lifestyle. That is where the name comes from. So that's what the car is about. It was developed during the COVID-19 pandemic and it's finally here. Bookings open in July and the vehicle goes on sale in August. Deliveries will begin around that same time, around the festive season. And in terms of the safety, despite that upright grille, despite the tall stance of the front end, pedestrian safety is going to be best in class, is what Honda says. And you can see the camera right here. It also comes with the Honda sensing technology. The ADAS functions will come to most of the variants of this car, is what we are told, which tells me that the starting price for this vehicle is going to be slightly on the higher side. And knowing Honda, it's a premium vehicle, so it will have a premium positioning as well. So expect the pricing to be in the zone of the 1-liter engine variants of the Kushaq and the Taigun. It will be around that. And when the hybrid comes out, it will compete with the likes of the Grand Vitara hybrid or the High Rider hybrid. If you have any questions about this vehicle, please put them in the comment section below and I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. And do let us know what is your feedback. And out of the 3 colors that we showed you so far, I'm guessing there are going to be more colors, but out of the 3 colors that I've shown you so far, let me know which one's your favorite. For once, is the white that I'm liking the most. Until the next one, take care and drive safe.